Let everybody get settled. All right, thank you. Welcome to Puget Sound Garden Railway's 2023 clinics. It's like we got a good showing. We got 7 presentations for you today. Okay. Thanks, Jeff. We have one more fascinating presentation for you. Paul has a presentation on coil or old oil burning locomotives to
All right, thanks, Jerry. Hey, everyone. I think, first of all, we need to thank Jerry, excuse me, for all his hard work putting together the clinics this year. Thank you, Jerry. And I believe, Bob, you're stepping up next year, so hopefully next year will go well, too. Also, thanks to everybody who contributed to the potluck. It's always a good lunch when we show up here. A little history with me. I've been in the club a couple of years. My wife surprised me with a G-scale starter set at Christmas 2 years ago, and she had no idea what the monster she created was. Fast forward to that summer, Skagit Valley Fair. I walk in, I see this logging train, and I'm just like, what is that? And they go, oh, that's Terry Latton's train. And wow. 2 years later, 3 climaxes, two truck shays, a 3 truck shay, a 4 truck shay, and 1.5 Heislers. I'm into logging locomotives. So anyway, if we can get the slides going, that'd be great.
It's taking a while to load this, Paul. I don't know what you did here.
It's a ton of pictures.
It's just pictures. It's not PowerPoint or anything.
It is PowerPoint, but all I did was give you some titles on slides.
Oh, okay. Oh, jeez. And we're talking about concrete and there's the company logo. Unbelievable. So, if we can go ahead and go on. I'd like Terry Latton to take a look at the wood load on this locomotive, how nicely stacked it is in the back. Anyway, I saw this photograph of a Center Valley shay, a little 2-truck shay, and I thought, man, that's really cool. I am digging that wood load and the fire reel on the cab and the winch on the front, so that kind of started my journey into converting it from old coal and oil, because next slide please, if you look at the loads that come with the locomotives from the different manufacturers, they don't really look that great. So first thing I did is remove the coal load, and we can just start flipping through. I can kind of explain what's going on. Took the coal load off. Coffee stir sticks, man, I dig them. They work great. And took those off, made some side brackets and a false plate put back in the fuel bunker. That way I can switch out from wood burning back to oil burning or back to coal. So next please. Height limits, bridges, tunnel portals and that. I took a stir stick and taped it to the top of the light, and that kind of gave me it. I originally started out with firewood I bought off of Etsy. And it served its purpose for a time, but I was never really happy with it, so I ended up with a bunch of extra cedar rounds that I had dried out in my yard, and so I just take them with a chisel and split them up. As you can see, I've got a huge box here. If anybody would like to take any home to try converting any of their locomotives to wood, help yourself. I got baggies to put them in. Or it might make kind of a cool display for a firewood fueling station and that. So, okay, we can click through the next one, please. There's the rack, a pile of the wood and the rounds. Next, please. And here's a very neatly stacked shay that I did. And to be quite honest with you, this morning I tore that off and I went back to the loosely piled. But you can see the difference that the actual wood load makes. In my opinion, it makes it look much more realistic, and I think it's a lot more fun to run them like that as well. And there's this one with it just kind of lackadaisically tossed in there, like Terry has pointed out. The guys are trying to get back out into the woods to get more logs. They're not going to slowly, carefully stack the wood. They're just going to throw it in the bunker. Next. And then one thing I did you know, you've got that plate in the front of the fuel tender, and it was just a blank plate. So I took some of the thinner stuff, split it up, and glued it onto the front of that plate and slid it down so it looks like the tender's fully stacked with fuel. Next. And me, every single time after putting out a new train on my layout, so. Anyway, I have a lot of fun doing it. I think it adds a touch of authenticity to the locomotives, and it really helps me relax after a long, stressful day. And like I said, if anybody would like to help themselves to some of this, you're more than welcome to. And again, thanks for your attention, and we'll see you guys in Monroe next week, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, Paul. With that, we got some extra time here, so in closing, I guess Bob Stevenson is going to take over next year for me. Thank you. I have plenty to do with the editor job now, so that's much appreciated. It's been fun doing this. Definitely, if you need any help, you know,